Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys a whole lot for subscribing to my channel, for following me on all of my various social media handles. I appreciate you guys a whole lot. So guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew a wrap. Should I call it a wrap gown or a wrapper gown rather? Yeah, this is a wrapper gown. I'm going to be making it a short gown. It's going to be having like a flounce on the side, so you could see the picture up there. So that's basically what we're going to be learning how to sew, and my emphasis is going to be on the wrapper side. So if you are new to my channel, if you have not subscribed to Stylish Naija YouTube channel already, please, I would appreciate if you would hit on the subscribe button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then hit on the bell to get an update whenever I upload a new video. So let's just get started. So the basic and the body frame of this dress, I'm going to be cutting it with my basic and bodice and pattern. So I'm just going to fold my fabric now and place my pattern and then cut out, and then we'll continue from there. And this I'm making use of 2 yards of crepe fabric. So this is crepe and fabric, this is 2 yards, and then I have 1.5 yards of chiffon, black chiffon. So I'm going to be mixing them to sew. So everything that I have here is 3.5 yards of fabric, and then this is the lining that I'm going to be using for this dress. So let's just get started. Okay, so I'm going to cut it out with my basic bodice, because the person I'm actually making this gown for is a smaller size. It's a size 6. So what I did, my bodice sloper, so I had to fold it in from the center part just for me to be able to get my measurement. So I've placed all of my marks on it. How I'm going to do it, that is going to be easy for me. So this is my waistline, and then this is my hip line, so everything is in order. So all I'm just going to do now, I'm just going to cut. Okay, so I'm going to just cut it out now. The only adjustment that I'm going to do, since it is a straight dress, I'm just going to reduce this part a little bit, just about 1 inch. So I'm just going to cut it out now. So I'll cut out the front first, and then before I cut out the back. Okay, so this is the front piece. So I've cut it out. So I've placed it on the back piece. So I'm cutting out the back piece. So this gown, you can decide to do it. You can decide to make it as a flare gown. So it depends on this wrapper gown. Depends on your choice. But I'm just going to teach you how to achieve the wrapper on it. Okay, so I've cut it out now. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut out my lining that I'm going to use to line it, and then I'm going to cut out my neckline. So you cut out any neckline of your own choice. So cut out any neckline of your choice. So mine, I'm going to cut out a regular round and neckline. So that's what I will do. I'll use 5 inches depth. I'm cutting the back and the front together, and then I'm going to slant the shoulder. I'll slope my shoulder to this point like this. I'll just bring it close for you to see. So this is the neckline. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my lining now, and then I'll sew and turn, and then I'll add my waist dart to it. So, and then before we come back and cut out the wrapper part. Okay, welcome back guys. So you could see I finished turning. I turned with my lining, so I just turned along the neckline and then on the side. So this is the back piece also. I've turned the back piece. I've turned it with my lining also. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to create out the wrapper. So the wrapper, the style of the wrapper, you can see it is just like this one, trendy flounce and gown that is in vogue right now. So that, but this we're going to be making it in a wrapper form. So let's just get started. So I'm going to be making use of my pattern paper for this part, because I don't want to waste my fabric, so that I will know how to cut. So I'm going to, here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to measure the waist and measurement that I'm using, where I want my wrapper to get to. So for this, I want it to be 16 inches. That's from my shoulder to 16 inches. So this is the 16 inches here. And then I'm going to mark it. I'm going to pin my pattern paper up to that point. So I just got a pattern paper. I'm going to pin it now. So I'll just pin it here, just exactly on the point. So that's where my wrapper is going to start from. So I'll pin it. And then you can see, so this is the length of my gown. This is the length. So it will get to where the length of my gown is. I'll pin it down here also. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to create a curve from this point. So from the hem, from my hem line, I'm going to measure my waist measurement. That's what I'm going to use, the waist and measurement. So I'm going to measure my waist measurement, which is 28 inches. So this is my 28, because this part I'm just going to know what I'm doing exactly. So this is where my 28 inches, when I'm stitching, this is where it's going to stop. So this is going to be my allowance. So from this point now, I'm going to create an arc. So and then I'm going to come to the down part. You're just going to determine this. I'm not using any regular measurement. You're going to determine how high or how low you want your flounce to be. So that's basically what I'm using. So I'm just going to create like an arc like this now. So you see what I have. So I'm creating like an arc here. So this is going to be my waistline. So this is the allowance that I'm going to use to stitch it. So when I stitch, this part is just going to fall on the exact line that's on the side of my stitch. So that's why I had to use this. So you could see, so this part that I'm going to measure what I have here. How many inches do I have here? That's what I'm going to use to cut out my fabric. So you could decide to cut it like cut in a flounce form. So I have 28 inches here. So the waist, that's the peplum that I'm going to cut out is going to be 28. That's the radius is going to be 28. So I'm going to use this. It's going to be 28, and then the length, I'm going to measure the length, because the length has to come to the down part of my dress. So you could decide for it to hang, maybe let it come a little bit up or down, but this I actually want it to be on the same line. So I'm going to mark 8 inches, because I'm not going to be turning my wrapper with lining. So if it is too long, I could adjust it. I could always trim it out. So I'm going to use 8 inches. So I'm just trying to mark out the 8 inches now and see how it is going to look. So this is where it's going to, but as I get to this point, I'm going to tilt it. So normally this is how my 8 inches will be, but when I get to this part, I'm going to reduce it, because I want it to fall into this part. So from this point now, I'm going to start reducing the peplum. So I'm not cutting that. So I'm just going to start measuring it this way. So I'm taking a look at. So this part now is coming to 7 inches. So this is the hem of my dress. This is the hem of my dress. So I'm using it. So on this part now, I'm reducing it. So when I get to this ending part, it's going to be about 2 inches. The essence of the 2 inches is because of the allowance. So when I stitch, so this is what I'm going to cut out. So once I cut out, I'm going to trim it with this is what I'm going to cut out. So firstly, to make this easy, I'm going to cut out the flare. So after cutting out the flare, I'll trim it. So I'll show you how to trim it on the fabric also. So this part, we're eliminating this part. We're not cutting out this part. So I'm going to cut out first for you to understand, so you see what we're going to have. So at the end of the day, so you can see this is what we're going to have. So you see it's looking beautiful already. So now what we're going to have now, this is the width of the peplum that I'm going to cut out. So the longest part is going to be 8 inches, while the smallest part is going to be about 2 inches. So it's going to be like an high, low, and peplum. So I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm cutting out 28 inches, but I'm going to triple it because I'm going to pleat it. So I'm going to cut out 28 inches in 3 places, and then I will join them. So then I will join them. So with that, or you could do 2 inches, depends on the amount of fabric that you have. Sorry, you could do 2. That's 28 inches. That's your radius. You could do it twice. Do you understand? So you could do it 2 times, but if you are doing it once, that means you are not going to pleat it. So it's going to be those flounce that you will not pleat, so it's just going to have the fall naturally. But since I'm going to pleat mine, I want to make it 3 times the measurement, 3 times, or I could even do 2.5. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So but I'm going to cut this out now. So this is what I'm going to place on my peplum. This is what I'm going to use to trace my peplum out when I cut it. So, and then this one is the one that this is going to be my wrapper and frame. This is going to be the body of the wrapper. That's because I want to mix it. So that's why I'm doing all this. So this is going to be, I'm going to use this crepe. I'm going to use this crepe. I'll cut out with this pattern, and then this pattern I'm going to cut out with the black, just like what we have on the picture. So I'm going to take this out now, and then I will cut this. This is just going to be exactly. The only thing I'm going to add to it, I'm going to add about 3 inches allowance or 2 inches, so it enters in properly. So I'm going to keep this, and then let's cut this out first. So I'm cutting out one piece because it's just for the front. It's just for the front. So here's what I'm going to have. So I'm going to have allowance like this. I'm going to have allowance on the top and the down. So for the top part, I could decide to, okay, I'm going to leave some allowance on the top that I'm going to use it to fold the top. So I'll leave about, and let me just measure. So I'll leave about 2 inches allowance. I'll use that 2 inches to fold it. That's just the essence. I'll use it to fold it inside. And then for the width, so this 2.5, 3 inches is okay. So I'm going to cut out this exact what I have. I'm just going to add and cut off 1 inch allowance to the edge like this. So when I'm stitching, it will not be truncated. So here's what I will do now. I'll cut it out now. Okay, so this is what we're going to have on top of this part. So this is going to be the beginning of our wrapper. So I just want you to see it in order for you to understand it properly. So this part is going to be in, because this side you are going to iron it neatly, and then I'm going to use hemming gum to finish it up, to balance it properly. So this side is going to be like this now. So you could see the length is perfect. So now we're going to cut out the flounce now for the down part. So I'll use a flay form to cut it out. So after cutting it out, I'll now trim it to this. So I'm going to cut out 2 first, and then I'll take a look at it. If it is okay, I'll continue. I won't cut out another one. But if it is not okay, if I see the need to add, I'll cut a 3rd one. Okay, so I'm going to measure out my flame now. Okay, so you see what I have now. So you see what I have now. So I'm going to cut out about 3 of this. So this was what I was trying to tell you. In case you don't want to pleat it, you could just attach it like this to this part like this, and then let it drop. But mine, I'm going to pleat it. I'm going to be pleating it because I want it to be full. So I'm going to pleat it. So I'm going to cut out 3 more. I'm going to cut out 2 more, and then we're going to go and start coupling them together. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to go and pleat this. So I've joined them together. I've joined the 3 flares together. So I'm going to go and pleat it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pleat it first. After pleating, before I will trim it to the shape that that's done, before I will reduce it on this top part. So I'm going to go and pleat it right now. So I'm just going to pleat it around and then come back and show you. So you pleat it however you want to. If you don't want to pleat it, the pleating is going to be from here like this. From here like this. So I'm just going to take it like this, and then I'm going to do tiny pleats like so, like this round. I'm just going to navigate navigate my just navigate it all through until I'll get to this point. So I'll do that and then we'll continue again. Okay guys, so you could see how beautiful this thing is looking. It is really looking so beautifully well. So at the end of the day, I decided not to trim it again. You know, initially I was supposed to trim it to reduce it, but I decided not to trim it because it is looking so beautiful. So the only thing that I did was this part. I just reduced this part a little bit. So this is the beauty of making use of is a fabric that at the end of the day you are going to use an overlock seam for. So I could adjust it the way I want. But if I had used if it was maybe like a stronger fabric that you have to line, I won't be able to play around with the length. So this is what we have. It is looking beautiful. So I'm going to explain to you now how to fix it on the dress. So you see the beauty of it. So you see the back. So okay, this is our dress. So I've joined my dress on the shoulder line. So I just joined the front to the back from the shoulder part. So here is the mark that I put for the length that's the waist, where I want the wrapper to be, the wrapper flounce. I think I should call it wrapper flounce. So I'm just going to take this right now like this, and then I'm going to place it like this. So here's what I'm going to do. This part, I'm not going to, we're not stitching it. It's only this part, that's where we're going to stitch. It's only this part that is going to run with the side seam. This part is going to stay like this. So that is why it is a wrapper gown. So here is what we are going to do right now. So if you want yours to be longer, you could decide to increase the width. So it depends on what you want. If you still want it to be smaller, you could decide to reduce it. So for this part, I'm going to leave the 2-inch. So before I fix it into this part, I'm going to fold it in like this with the 2-inch that I told you. I'm just going to fold it. At the end of the day, I'm going to use hemming gum to iron and press it down. Then I'll have a neat finish. I don't want to run a stitch on it to not look professional. So here I'm going to show to you now how we are going to fix this. So in fixing it, like I said, you are just going to take your measurements with it on the side. So I'm going to pin it now for you. Okay, I made belts that I'm going to attach to it. Since it is a wrapper gown, so you are going to tie it to the back. So this I'm going to put, so you could make belts of this. I think I actually used about 2.5 inches on 4. That's about 5 inches. Just stitch, cut out any length of your choice. That's any length. So this part is going to be here. I'm going to put one on this side like this, and then this one is going to be here. This one is going to be here. I'm going to place it. I said I was going to fold this part. So this one I'm going to put like this. So I'm going to pin it. It's going to be on this side. So when you could just wrap it around. So, but for this one is just going to sit here. It's going to sit here. I'm going to put it on this hem part like this. Just push it in, and then I'm going to pin it down. So when I'm stitching, I'll be able to stitch. So this part like this, I'm going to, that extra 2 inches that 2.5 inches that I put in, I'm going to use about, I'm just going to place it now. So that inch is going to come out. I'm going to take about 1 inch in backwards. So this is going to stay like this. I'm just placing it straight like this. You see it is on the right side, so I'm going to pin it down. I'm just going to pin it so firmly. So this remaining part is where I'm going to hem. So this part is going to come down, then this side is going to stay like this. So if you want to trim your gown, if you even want to curve your gown, do you understand? If you want to curve your gown, you can still trim your gown like this, and it's still going to be beautiful. The idea just actually came to me right now, seriously, for you, that you could actually trim your gown like this, as you could trim it, and then it will have a curve down, and then your wrapper will still be on it. It will be fine. Okay, so I'm just pinning now, so you could see what I have. Okay, so at the end of the day, here is how it's going to look like. So I've pinned it down. So what I'm going to do now, once I take my full body measurement, I'm just going to stitch. I'm just going to use the stitch to stitch it. So I'm going to go and stitch them together now. just join my side seam. So you see how it is pinned, you're just going to join the side seam. So this is going to be the front. So I'll just turn it for you to see. And then this one, once you are turning, this should come this way, and then this is going to stay like this. So I'll take my full and body measurement, and then I would go, and so this part, just make sure you pin this part down, you press it in. So then whatever you are doing, this one is just going to hang inside like this, and then this is where you are actually dealing with. This part is where you are dealing with. So this is going to come like this, and then I'm going to take my full body measurement. I'm just going to run my seam along using my actual body measurement. Now I'll join the back and the front together like this. So I'll go and join it and then come back and show you how it is going to look like. And then this other side, this one, you are just going to push this one, bring it in. You are not stitching anything on that part, and you are not stitching anything here also. So this one is going to stay like this, and then you are going to use your measurement also to join this part down. So let's go and do that now. Okay, so guys, so you see I finished joining it. So this is how it's going to look like I was saying. So this part, you saw I just folded it in. So this part now I'm going to use hemming gun to iron it, like I said. So the strap for this side, I've attached it to it. So the next one we're going to attach to this other side. So once you take the wrapper like this, and then with this strap you're going to tie it at the back. So one is on this side, and then the other one is on this side. So I'm going to open up this same exact part now, that's this point, and then I'm going to put this in. So at the end of the day, so this is how it's going to be looking. So I'm going to put it on my mannequin now. So for the sleeve, you could put any sleeve of your choice. Mine, I'm just going to put a simple regular pencil sleeve. So I'm not going to be showing it on this video. I'm going to put it on the mannequin now for you to see the final look. Okay guys, so you could see the final look of our gown. So I'm going to open it now for you to see. So like I said, I told you initially that I was using a smaller model. I'm making it for a smaller person, so my mannequin is not the same size with my mannequin. So you could see what we have. So this whole part now I'm going to use overlock seam to close all of them up. So you see this part I was talking about. So at the end of the day, you are just going to take it. You can decide to take it how high or how low you want it, and then you take it to the back, and then you take this other one also. So I'm going to tie it now, and then you will see how it is looking behind. So at the end of the day, so once you tie it, you're just going to give it a good clean knot. So you see how it is looking so beautifully well. So what's remaining now is just for me to fix the sleeve, and then I'll hem it down. So like I said, I have now come to the end of this video illustration. If you find it helpful, please hit on the like button, and then if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Thank you so much. So you can see what we have.